Welcome in, DAGERSystem fans. I'm here to bring you the accessibility review of Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, the third-person action RPG. In this video, myself and Jeremy Peeples will be breaking down the accessibility in the game from a point of view of deaf and hard of hearing, fine motor, and vision. So let's find out if this 4-player co-op is accessible as playing a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Alright, we're going to start with a walkthrough of the settings in Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. First, on gameplay of vibration on and off, you're playing with controller. Here you can go to the keybinds, and you can change the keybinds for all the different ones right here. However, you cannot change the keybinds for WASD or the movement. So that's kind of the reasons I had a really hard time playing or not even be able to play it. And I had to have help capturing video and being able to play the game from the bat. So if we go back, I don't think you can click down here. Nope. So we have to hit escape to go back. We have control scheme. If you play the controller, and you only have preset 1 and preset 2. Only those presets, no way to change the controls and remap them on a controller. Then you also have mouse sensitivity, and you can change these by clicking the little arrows. You cannot click and drag these to change them, and so you have to click repeatedly every time to change these. It'd be really hard to do so because you got to keep clicking it every single time. It can be quite irritating and annoying. On to sound, you have different volume sliders for master music, SFX, dialogue, speaker, voice chat, and push to talk. You can play with 4 other players, and there is push to talk, but no text to speech or speech to text. Under HUD is unblockable attacks outline and HUD opacity. And then anywhere you want to customize the HUD, from flash over monster hits, range attacks, abilities, objective marker, mission objectives, you name it, you can change it right here. Onto camera. You can turn camera shake on or off, and then the rotation speed, vertical rotation speed, and then the aiming as well. Languages, probably just changing the language. Yep, text language, and the subtitles are here as well. And you can put the opacity on or off and lower it as well. And then under accessibility, sprint mode is a press. You can do subtitle background as dark, and then the 3 different color blinds. Starting off with fine motor. I wasn't able to rebind WASD to the arrow keys that I like to use since I'm right-handed, and unfortunately wouldn't be able to play the game very much because of having to reach over the left side of the keyboard. So thanks to Jeremy Peeples for being able to capture all the video for us today and being able to fill in for me. I really appreciate it. The game does some things really well and then kind of lacks in other things. It does have some keybind reset for all the other keybinds that you use in the game besides WASD, and has a toggle for sprinting. Though I do believe when you have to aim and throw your ranged weapon, you do have to hold control and press left click, which is kind of hard for people that are having to hold multiple inputs at the same time. There is some slight auto targeting, and you can target lock onto different enemies, which can help you if you don't have time to rotate your camera and make it a little bit easier. Navigating the menus and even the options can be really tiring and kind of intrusive and not very user-friendly, because you have to click everything, little arrows, each time you want to change the setting, as well as having to hit the escape key to get out of menus. And if you have trouble reaching over to hit the escape key, it can be kind of hard and tiring as well. With all that said, we're giving our fine motor of Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance 2 stars, are partially accessible. Moving on to deaf and hard of hearing, the game does offer subtitles and ways to customize the subtitles, but no way to make the text bigger for the subtitles. You can change the opacity as well as the background, but unfortunately the subtitle text can be pretty small. When it comes to customizing the HUD, I think the game does a really good job at allowing you to customize the things that you want on your HUD. Either you're not too distracted, or if you want all the information on there, does a really good job of being able to display that. There's also little hit markers around you when you're in a group of enemies that have little arrows that show when they're coming at you when you're attacked, so you can be able to dodge or block a parry accordingly. And with the different volume sliders, I think it does a good job of being able to customize the sound how you want and be able to focus on what sounds you want over others. And if you do decide to play this as a 4-player co-op, there is party chat involved in the game, but there is no text to speech or speech to text, so be aware of that. And thusly, this is why I give our deaf and hard of hearing score a thoroughly accessible, or 3 stars. Lastly, let's take a look at visual accessibility of Dark Alliance. Dark Alliance does some good things when it comes to visual cues. There are some like red colored drapes over ledges that you can choose to climb up on or jump to that kind of show you the way where you need to go, or show and like highlight and glitter different loot objectives, whether it's gold or items in an area or a chest. But there are some areas when you encounter puzzles and different things to unlock different doors to progress into the next room and further through the acts. and there's not like a clear-cut way of what you need to do. It's been kind of difficult, and there's no really like visual cue to tell you, oh, this is a puzzle, or to make the puzzle like kind of pop up and be easier for you if you have trouble with puzzles like me. But for low vision players, it might be a little bit hard to find the objectives and follow along the paths when you're not fighting enemies. There is a little waypoint at the top, but other than that, there's not really a way to guide you like a straight line or any kind of path that shows you which way you need to go as you navigate through the different levels. And with all that combined, I'm giving my visual score of Dark Alliance 2 stars, or partially accessible. Now, when this game was announced and going up to release, I was really excited to play it. But unfortunately, with the lack of accessibility for me as a low mobility player, I couldn't really play it. And thanks to Jeremy Peeples again for being able to capture all the footage for this video. But if you are interested after watching this video and checking this out, it is free on Xbox Game Pass for PC and console. So I highly recommend checking it out, even if you're just a little bit interested, and see how accessible it is for you and play it for yourself. If you're looking for more accessibility reviews from DAGERSystem, make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell to get notified when we post videos on the latest game releases. And also make sure to check out DAGERSystems.com for all the written reviews as well. That way we can continue to make gaming enabled.